Are you ready? Can crush us. It don't really get no better than this. The podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock them out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody. Power driving, hit them with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break them, let's go. Yeah. Can Crushers. Yeah. Can Crushers. Let's go.
What's going on, you guys? This is the CEO of Shane Taylor Promotions and the baddest of all time, Shane Taylor, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to Ask Can Crush. No, wait, what? What? That's next week. We were just talking about it.
We were just covering topics.
Yeah. I'm just getting excited to make everybody remember that next week is Ask Can Crushers, and we love the show so much that I'm fast-forwarding it.
Exactly. You're just like, skip this week. Nothing happened. We're next week. We are March 29th. Let's go. We're recording March 29th. 30th, you guys will hear it. So.
Welcome to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. That's the sane one, Sir Michael Jenks. I'm Mark the Mark. Guys, love.
That's loaded.
Here.
I'm not taking that weight on.
What, you be insane?
Yeah. No chance.
So you're part of the ICP now.
Yeah. You know me. I'm a juggalo, apparently. That's what they are, right? I can't remember anymore.
They are juggalos. You and Superhuman. I wonder how he's doing, by the way.
I don't know. It's been a while, actually, since I've heard that name.
Right? How is your week, fine sir? What's going on? How mad, M-A-D-D, are you?
Not insane in the memory, not macho madness at all, but I'm watching and loving the brackets that are being set on fire. At least two that I've seen. One's kindling, one's kind of just up in flames at this point. Shout out to my cousin Pat for going down with the Kentucky ship. But it's been a good week from the sense I've been off. I was off Thursday, Friday, relaxing, but also the beginning of the week, man, rough week with work. I tried to get dental work done. It did not come through. So I have to wait another 3 weeks. So unfortunately, it's a pain in the butt, but we're moving on. We're moving through and moving on.
But the rebound of Thursday, Friday.
Oh, Thursday, Friday rebound has helped out. Yeah, we'll get today and tomorrow. It'll be fine. It'll all equal out. Sometimes you got to take the bad with the good, right? So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How about you? What's up with you?
My madness in my bracket is we're getting to essentially first 2 games, 1-2. Then I bounced back, bounced back a little bit. I put time in it, but not that enough I should have. And there's some that I went with my head and not my heart. I should have went a couple with my heart. Yeah. Because I like the school, but I'm like, Duquesne, man. I will throw it right off the bat. I should have stuck with Duquesne. I should have, but I'm like, man, I don't even know what conference, the Atlantic 10 plus 2 minus 74 or whatever. I'm like, man, I know them. They're good. First time in 79 years or so they've been in. I'm like, they're happy to be in. Damn. They look good.
Really happy to be in. They looked really good. They caught BYU, who apparently had a say in what seating they got, so they didn't play on Sundays, from what I have read and heard, because obviously BYU, because of their religion, that beliefs that they have out there, Sunday, the Sabbath, they got to keep it holy, can't play. So apparently there's discussion. They said, we'll take the 6 over the 5, and that sent them to Duquesne. That sent them to Hellfire and Brimstone of Duquesne.
Yeah.
And the Duke said bye. They choke-slammed them all the way to hell. So good luck with that.
Shame on me again. I know we've talked about this for when it was first out. I forgot it was in Pittsburgh again.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm like, damn, I would have went Thursday night. And
yeah.
I know today it's back in Pittsburgh again, but I think you only get 2 games today, right?
Yeah, it's either 2 or 4. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head what the breakdown is, but I always forget because it's either Cleveland or Pittsburgh, or they both get games somehow, somewhere.
Or Buffalo, which is
Buffalo, yeah.
All 3 of us good.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I always forget. I always remember Moochie bring him into this. He actually had tickets to go to March Madness, I think in Buffalo. But then a certain pandemic decided to come rear its ugly head and cancel that entire thing. Yeah, exactly.
I think we have to make it a point next year to go to the opening round. Nothing against the following rounds. They're great. They're great basketball, but the
opening round, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know who's going to do what. It's just going to be chaos. And that's
Oakland
what makes it special.
Ripping shit up in Oakland, essentially.
Oakland just apparently they're not even in a town named Oakland. Were named Oakland by a couple because they founded it and said, "Oh, Oakland's a good name for a fucking school."
Oh, that's an oak tree.
Yeah, so we're on their land, so it's Oakland.
It's in Michigan.
Yeah, it is. I think I heard that before. I did not know it was not in a town called Oakland. I thought it was Oakland, Michigan, some way. But yeah.
So you ran through your week. Tuesday, I had a rough day.
Yeah.
Rough day. Woke up, we had snow, da-da-da-da-da. But I ate late Monday night, so I had some, let's just say, cramps to keep it. We'll get explicit later, but some cramps. Started the car. I better go to the bathroom. Didn't make it. 4:30 in the morning, I'm calling off because I'm cleaning out the floor because I didn't make it.
Oh my God.
But because the bathroom
you
do then all day. I finished my rise on the girls' part.
Oh, did you?
I had to stay close to the bathroom. So I did that for about 10 hours. Once you get to my rise and you start playing that, unbelievable story. I love everything they did with it. If you haven't done my rise yet, to create your girl or import one of the ones that they have on WWE 2K is what we're talking about. Unbelievable story. Yeah. Unbelievable story. I started the guys part now. I haven't, maybe today or tomorrow I'll play a little bit into it, but yeah, that was, and essentially go back to work and work. So enjoyed basketball Thursday, enjoying it as we record, looking forward to more. Not a lot going on. It's freaking miserable out again. It's winter's back.
I don't know where it came from, but it can go. It can just get the hell out of here.
Now.
And I don't even know if it's supposed to be spring anytime soon. Again. Probably not up here either. Yeah, that little rodent got everything wrong again. What a surprise. It was fine until, first day of spring was supposed to come, and now, oh, hey, fuck you guys. Here's winter time. Deal with it.
Yeah. So I want to jump into hot topics. Lickety split.
Oh, I can't hear
today.
It. Can't wait.
I do have a few wrestling ones. Okay. But do you have $4.5 million I can borrow or loan to me? Or wait, let me just steal it from you.
If you want. I mean, as long as you pretend to be my translator at first.
I have a gambling problem. So let me go off on this a little bit. Yeah. Shohei Ohtani, his translator, there's so many stories out there. We'll get to the bottom of it till we get to it. But my point of bringing this up is, if he's involved on one bet, he's got to be gone, right?
He's got to be completely suspended.
Stir the pot. Do they look past it and they reinstate Pete Rose? Shohei is your money in MLB right now.
I guess to that point, was Pete Rose not their money at that particular point in time?
But they caught all this as he was like a player coach, not making $70 million.
Fair. I don't know. It's a great question. But I don't think if you're, well, no, I won't go back on this. If your moneymaker, the absolute link right now to the East, the Far East, in Japan, Korea, whatnot, is embroiled in this type of heat in that, I don't know if they pull the trigger like they did for Pete Rose. I also think at that time, Pete Rose and the commissioner were not
buddy.
But they weren't great friends. I think Rob Manfred, Fred, whatever the fuck his name is, how to pronounce it, may not be the most popular commissioner there in any of the sports now / in baseball history.
Right.
But he's also not a dumb he's a businessman.
He is.
And he knows he could suspend him maybe for 20 games.
Half a season,
but he's not going to pull the full plug and say, you can't get into the Hall of Fame, you can't do anything. But now let me flip that on its head. Is there a clause in the contract the Dodgers gave him that says if you're caught gambling,
you get caught betting,
if you get caught betting, you get none of your money.
If
none of it's guaranteed, I should say. Yeah, we don't know, but if he's, air quotes, blackballed and essentially gone from MLB, they have to be able to get compensated or whatever. Compensated. Not they're going to get double the money, but they're going to say, all right, you played, because this is going to take probably till All-Star break to figure out, by the way. Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Oh, at least. Or they're going to drag it on till the end of the season and then be like, okay, we got 3 months to try to figure out what to do with them.
Yeah. Which is, they can find out easily.
100%. They'll probably know by end of April. May.
Even by then.
Well, yeah, they'll know. They'll know about what happened and all the evidence. But then it's, let's get it to the end of the year. Let's get 1 year milked out of this.
Yeah.
And then push it.
But the stories first came out that, it was a loan. And a couple of sports guys that I watch on TikTok and everything else have shown paperwork that it was a loan. And then the story changed that the interpreter stole it from him. $4.5 million. Like, as a loan, that's a lot of a loan.
Yeah.
Like, I love you. I don't have $4.5 million. I don't know who in my lifetime I would loan $4.5 million to.
Yeah.
And if it's a gift, there's taxes and shit that need to be paid on that gift.
Mm-hmm.
So the best story is that he did steal it. Let's just throw that. Not that it's a good story, but that he did steal it.
Yeah. Well, let's play this card a little bit here. Is it betting by proxy if he gives it to him to pay off a betting debt? That's why you have to go with the story of he stole it from me.
Would bookie let it get to $4.5 million, by the way? I need him.
Well, and that bookie probably was sitting there like the interpreter was like, listen, I work for Shohei. I'm good for the money.
I got $700 million.
Yeah. He's going to give me maybe half of that. So the bookie probably gave him the leash and then was like, dude, I need this money back.
$4.5 million in, let's just say debt.
Debt. Yeah.
You suck. I at least won the fantasy football league this year. First time in forever, but I knocked off some money there.
Right.
I'm doubting winning March Madness. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
But granted, they're not betting $5. Not that we do, but.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like normal people do. They're betting a lot more. But still, that takes a lot of losses.
To even get to that point.
Yeah.
But then again, the question is, how many fucking what bets are you placing? Are you doing Dave Portnoy's money lines of 20,000 a bet, 200,000 a bet on some motherfucking school?
Is he gonna like the pizza?
Yeah, is he gonna like the pizza at 9 out of 10?
So that's something that, as baseball fans, we'll watch and keep you intrigued too. If you're not a baseball fan, just listen. We'll follow this. I don't know. I think Shohei's in a world of hurt. I really do. I just think it's maybe not this year, but surprise me.
We'll see.
These next three are wrestling related, though. Okay, hot topics, and they're all pretty fucking juicy. So I'll start this one since he's injured. MJF's off the AEW page. No merch, no picture, no nothing.
Is it happening? We alluded to it, I think, last week. That post by Page.
Yeah. Is there really not a contract? Is this the ploy that he's back at Dynasty, though?
But even then, what's the Dynasty play here?
Why do you pull him from your roster?
Pull him from your roster? Pull his merch? Screw the roster page. Fine, you can play that card. But if his merch is pulled from Pro Wrestling Tees or any AEW shop, there's a reason for that. That means he's not getting money in his account, which means he's free to do whatever he wants.
Yeah. I think it happens. Like, if it's not, they're teasing us or whatever, but that's pretty big because you can always like mention him to go sell a scarf or go sell a bobblehead or whatever.
Yep.
Because you can make money off of him just by mentioning him.
Yeah.
Now, you don't bring him up.
You don't bring him up. He's forbidden fruit. He might be showing up. But the question becomes, is he showing up for Cody or is he showing up for Roman in the bloodline? If he shows up. Because at that point, we know he's a scumbag.
Right. And if the bloodline is banned and it's not a bloodline rules match,
then
is let me stir the pot. When we're in Cleveland, is it Cody and MJF at SummerSlam?
Maybe. That would make it a trilogy at that point.
Yeah. These are my thoughts. These are all my thoughts running through my head this week. And I'm like, oh, I'm all right with it because I'm a wrestling fan. I love these conspiracy theories that we create.
Yeah. There's so many threads that can be pulled, manipulated, utilized from the wrestling standpoint that when you go across the spectrum of professional wrestling, you got to make up these things because you got to generate it. This is how we get from pay-per-view to pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's what juicy piece of fruit can we pull from a tree and say, okay, this might be it. This might be it. Because there's a lot of validity to some of the stuff you can pull on. Some of the stuff you just BS and they're like, well, fuck it, what if this happens?
Right.
Which is what we do every week, at least from
every
when
week.
I start throwing stuff in there. But with this one, there's no evidence. There's things that are just flipping in the wind right now.
Yeah, DDP, like we said last week, DDP hasn't said anything in years. Not relevant, but
he talks about his yoga program.
Yeah, about wrestling.
Yeah.
And he drops that last week, and then this week, and
that's that's something.
Yeah. Think about it.
It might happen.
Do you want, way to go, or do you want, what a fucking scumbag? Which next hot topic do you want?
Let's go, what a fucking scumbag.
Goldberg talking about Asuka.
I was hoping you were going to bring this one up. What?
Fuck you.
Piece of shit. Come on. Pronounces her name wrong. Can't even.
Some Japanese. This is not us, but air quotes from him. Some Japanese girl broke my record.
Yeah, and then goes on to proceed to mispronounce her name. What was it, Asuka
We're on
or
the
something
same
like
fucking
that?
cards as her, you dickhead.
Yeah, exactly. You've seen her. You've been around her at some capacity. You're going to be that out of touch or that just completely
Even
bullshit?
Listen, they had a pass in catering. They had a pass. I will say all this. They had a pass in catering. They had a pass. You've never had a conversation with her. Okay. You read the bill sheets that WWE has. You know what's going on.
Exactly.
You know.
You embrace. You know who is on the card, who's not. You're gonna tell me that you're that oblivious to it all that you're just like, I don't care about anybody outside of my match.
Right. And then I don't like it. Gave me a bad taste of just it's Asuka. And I'm not saying this to any other girl. That it's just some girl. You don't say it. But just to say some Japanese girl, like that just gave me a horrible taste the way you said it is. You bastard.
You're that out of touch. You're that uncivilized.
Yeah.
You goon. You're proving Bret Hart was right all of these years with his bona fide ass statements that you just keep pumping out.
At first, when I saw this, I thought they mistyped it, miswrote it, whatever, and I thought it was going to be Ryback that said this. So I had him like, no, Goldberg didn't say that.
Yeah.
No possible way. So more sources. I'm like, nope, it's not Ryback.
It was the older bald guy. It just baffles my mind that you would do this. You would play this card and be this unkempt and this uncultured.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was a significant undefeated streak that they did in the company. It was something to put her over and establish her as dominance. Now, I don't agree with the way it ended, but it was a streak unlike any other that we have seen. Yeah, Goldberg was his dominant streak. Asuka was this one. This is what made her such a viable contender anytime she came up for the title, anytime she was in a tag team title match, anytime she did anything of relevance. When she came back with the Kana attire and masks and all of that, it's what made that even more special and made us think, holy shit, now she's on an even more demonic level. That's what makes a person. It established her as a star. If you're trying to get back for one final match, which she has said several times, you should know the product you're walking into to get that final match.
Right.
Man, woman, child, beast, monster, whatever it is, you should know it.
Yeah.
This is what leads me to think that he's has had a say in a lot of different things that have happened over the years that have just been like, huh.
Right.
Why that?
You look back and you're like, let me read that chapter over again.
Yeah. Maybe we even stick that in the book as well. Maybe he said something to Vince like, why is she still undefeated?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's accurate. And
right, but it's
just a speculation, but let's pull a string. What if he's like, she shouldn't be undefeated?
Yeah. The other one I want to bring up is Ronda Rousey. This is the most vocal she's ever been when she's been associated with WWE.
She's not holding back anymore.
It's about time. I know she said she's done. She's done with WWE because of things and the concussions. She's done. She's done in sports. She's got her own thing. She's got her book coming out. She wishes she wrote more in the book of things she saw. But she was maybe trying to keep it for that one more match. If she comes out with another one and unleashes, I bet you she saw a lot. I really, in my heart, I bet you she did see a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. you pick up on things differently from a different perspective, different point of view. Being not in the company for a long period of time, you're going to notice things real quick and notice how things get run a lot differently. And let's be honest, that's probably what led her to leave. I know she had a baby and all that stuff, but that probably played into being away for a couple of years. Like, I don't want to go back to that shit.
Yeah, I don't want to be in that circus.
Yeah. I want nothing to do with that.
No. And one other one just popped in my head, not written down, but it kind of relates to this. Earlier this week, John Laurinaitis is playing the victim card.
Oh, see, I didn't see this one, so you got to phone me in on this one here.
He had until like the end of the month to put something in the court documents or yada yada yada. Well, apparently he's claiming victimhood of the whole sexual harassment and stuff. That he was part of the Ponzi scheme, essentially. Those are not the correct words, but you know how we break it down as mutants and minors on here. But yeah, he's playing the victim card of all this as well. Walk away, dirtball.
Walk away, dirtball. This is gaslighting 101. I'm going to deflect blame.
He's going to get is what he's trying to get out of this.
Well, exactly. He's trying to absolve himself at least somewhat of what Vinnie Mac's going to get. And at the end of the day, you weren't going to get it anyways. Like, you weren't going to get to his extent, but you were going to get something out of this. Just shut up. Why? Yeah. Victim. You know what you did. Come on.
Numerous people have said, yes, you were doing things. Victim?
Yeah.
Okay. And before anybody comes at me, I understand. There are circumstances when things are held against you, and I mean the whole card or anything, but I've never been down the path. I hope I'm never down that path. You or anybody else.
100%.
But I don't know. I don't know if I can cry victim over something like this.
Yeah, you're just playing a game at that point.
Yeah.
Just shut up. That's all I can say to you. Just fucking shut up.
Do you have anything since I sold 4 of them?
No, you're good. I wanted to cover the Goldberg-Asuka one. I'm trying to think back this week. Obviously, you guys know I have Twitter open, X, while we're doing this, just so I can see if anything pops up. Sean Sapp has a ton of notes for his subscribers, and one of them is Dijak is white, so that's breaking news.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, one of them, so if you guys are subscribers, just go ahead and follow that. Dijak has already responded. He's very confused by the whole situation. Obviously, this is a rumor. But, I don't think I have, I had something about Meltzer and Alvarez earlier this week, but it was just a bunch of bullshit from them, so I'm not even going to jump into that. So I think that we'll leave it with that. But I'll circle back on this. Did you see the update on the Kate Middleton reports this week?
I did. I was going to wait to the end. I just saw it probably like hours ago.
Yeah, unfortunately, so everybody knows, we were speculating last week on whatever the Kingdom was doing over there. Unfortunately, she came out today with a release saying she had cancer and she's undergoing treatment right now. So all the prayers and thoughts and all of that to Kate Middleton and her family in the time of need. We knew something was going on.
Right.
But
they wanted to take time to kind of digest it and get it to the kids and kind of start this treatment and everything. So, yeah.
Yep, exactly. So, bless her in that time as well, in her time. Yeah. And then, we'll just bring it back on a happy note. I got the PS5 last week, so gaming now.
How was that? How was the setup? We're about to sports between lives and wrestling hot topics.
Yeah, we're all over the place. It was good. It took a long time. The setup was like, it was one of those things where I got it painful at first, and then I figured out all the odds and ends, figured out, all right, I'm going to need several hours. It was going to be multiple days to just transfer files and all that stuff. So I'm like, screw this. I remembered Kimberly had a landline or like an Ethernet cable downstairs.
Oh.
And we went
landline.
Not a landline, but a LAN. Yeah, I know, right? Dial up. But we remembered she had the cable, so we're like, oh, let's just hook that up. 30 minutes.
Done.
But then I did a thing. I basically reset myself with everything I've moved over. And when I say that was, do I get the PS5 with like graphics and all that stuff, or do I pull over the PS4 version and lose that functionality, but get my save data? I chose to go the PS5 version because you know what? I'm going to have fun with this shit. So I'm starting from scratch, essentially. Obviously with wrestling, on everything, but obviously with wrestling, I had that, God of War and that stuff transferred over because there's only one version for it for some reason, so that's fine. But for wrestling and that, like, let's just start anew. I already have I got everybody unlocked. It's just unlocking arenas now as I go through Showcase and doing all that stuff. So yeah, we can have fun with that. Football, I don't know if you know this, but in NFL, in the PS4 version of Madden, you don't relocate until the following season still. And you only have half the cities available to you. So when you mentioned you had Virginia Beach way back when, and when I went to do a franchise and move like the Commanders, so I was going to be like, oh, Virginia Beach, whatever. I only had the handful that I had in 2021. And I'm like, no, this is not. I'm like, well, that sucks. So that was the easy choice for me with Madden. I'm like, I'll take the newer version. Sure enough, got everybody, got all the jerseys. I was Vancouver Condors for a hot second, deleted that one, restarted it, became the Honolulu Dragons after Ricky Steamboat. And just was like, I'm going for it. So the games are now, at least a few of the games are uploaded. I bought the bundle with Spider-Man 2, so I played a little bit of that as well. So yeah, it was it's been a pretty nice week so far playing PS5 and all that stuff.
Have you been playing and watching basketball?
No, because it's been separate occurrences. So
okay.
Basketball, like last night we just did stuff and we were just hanging out and all that stuff and we had other things going on. So we were like, that's fine. We were just doing what we do. So I had basketball, like tracking it on my thing. But yesterday afternoon, strictly basketball. Yep. Today, I was hanging out with my niece a little bit, so I didn't get to see basketball. So I'm kind of multitasking now with a basketball game on as we're recording here. Mark's doing the same thing. We have the same game on. And my bracket's a minute 20 away from being busted here. So, come on. Never trust Bruce Pearl, by the way, guys.
Right. Never.
But anyways, so it's been a balance act. I played a little bit this morning, enjoyed it a little bit this morning and all that stuff, so.
Did you find a couples game yet? And that sounds completely like swinging.
No, I know what you did. Yeah. I was looking it up and there's a game called It Takes Two. So apparently it's like a joint action adventure kind of game. So I bought that and downloaded it. So now we just need to play and that. So that'll be fun at some point.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if we can rocket through these, sponsors real quick. Take a minute.
We still have sponsors.
Second break and then we'll come back. Collar and elbow, hats, hoodies, tees, all the cool things that Al Stone and Hooligans have. Go and buy them. We have a promo code for you.
It's Can Crusher. Save yourself 10% off at collarandelbow.com and enjoy that. But we also have a WWE Shop affiliate code as well, do we not?
Yeah, and it's in the show notes. Buy stuff. Sometimes you get a discount, sometimes you don't. We're very transparent here on the podcast. Whatever you do buy will help support us, so thank you.
Yes, please do that. And then get our merch on CrowdMate, too. I mean, Can Crushers.
Yeah.
Buy us up. We got t-shirts, hoodies, long sleeve shirts. I think there's a tank out there.
I'm really wondering why, like, the shot glasses and stuff aren't coming through. Like, I haven't even gotten an email from them. And I keep saying each and every week I'm going to reach out, but then, like, video games happen.
Yeah.
I need to reach out.
Video games happen. I mean, life happens, video games happen. There's priorities to these things.
Did they take back timeouts, by the way?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, good. We're good.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget next week is Ask Can Crushers. We'll get around to the other things.
Yeah.
So make sure you get your questions in. You have to get them in by Thursday night, which is the 28th.
Yep.
cancrusher69@gmail.com is one way.
Call us at 814-299-6687. Leave us a 3-minute at maximum phone call. Do not call us 14 times. Daniel.
Or you could DM us at Facebook, Instagram, or at Twitter, or whatever you want to call it, and we'll pull them from there as well.
Yeah. We'll pull them, get the questions in. We have a couple that I've started cooking up on my end. And
I have to bring at least one then. I have to bring
we talked about that. You said you're going to bring one. I had one that I was sitting there thinking, and I'm like, oh, man, this would be an excellent question to ask you. Because I think we talked about the match one last week, but this was a whole different one because I think it's a relevant question to ask. So I think it'll be a lot of fun with that. But
Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Boxcast, Stitcher, IMDb. We're available everywhere. And don't forget, we're now on YouTube, which is continue to grow. So thank you very much. Like, subscribe, join that whole network as well, too.
We're a fast-growing wrestling podcast from 0 to over 200% growth in a week, I guess. So, hey, whatever, that works. But, yeah, join us on YouTube. We're also on Podurama. They have special discounts going on right now. Remember, you're welcome. Remember, there's seamless transition from your devices, so pick us up on your phone. If you leave us going on your laptop, we'll be there. Check out their deals and discounts that they have right now at Podurama.com.
All right, we'll be back. Well, I think we have to go AEW first.
I think we do, too.
All right, we'll be back. Listen to this, and we'll be right back.
This is the hardcore icon, Just Incredible, and you're listening to Can Crushers Podcast. Now, that's not just the coolest, and that's not just the best Can Crushers Podcast. Well, that, my friends, is just incredible.
Welcome back, Can Crushers, to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. This is Mark, that's Mike, and brackets busted across the board.
Bunch of bullshit.
It is his bracket.
But I still have my national championship game. I just was a dumbass.
Thank you, you're already clinging on to that.
Again, this happens to me every year. I trusted Bruce Pearl, and he fucked me over. This is just... I never trust certain places, people, or schools in the tournament. Kansas, never trust them. Purdue, don't trust them. Bruce Pearl, don't trust him. What did I do? Trusted Bruce Pearl and Purdue so far in this bracket. Purdue, don't let me down, Boilermakers. They're not my championship game. Just don't let me down.
Right. They're in your semis, though, on the other side of the bracket.
They're in my semis.
Get to there, at least.
Get to there, we'll deal with that. So, yeah, we'll deal with that.
Forgot to pay one bill, so we'll do that real quick. Guys, you know how much I love W, how much I'm living off of W in the morning. Go and check it out. I don't know if I have a new favorite or if they're tied now, because I had a little Beach and Peach left, so I had some of that. And then the next day I went to my Cali Cream, and I had that. They're both on the same level. They're both amazing. Mm-hmm. They really are. If you're looking for a boost of energy, anytime. It doesn't have to be in the morning. Anytime. You take 2 scoops, throw it in some water, shake the shit out of it, drink it. It's amazing. It's non-carbonated, and there's no calories. There's no artificial. This is why they don't give me a read. There's no artificial, colorings or anything. It's awesome. And from a garbage man, I'm telling you, I take this at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm busy until 10 o'clock at night. It keeps me going. There's no crash. It's an amazing energy drink, guys, that I tried it for weeks before I told you about it. Now I live it. It's good. It's my testimonial each and every week. I wouldn't say get it if I didn't like it.
W is definitely a W for Mark over there and for us at Can Crushers. You're welcome.
And our promo code to save 10% is Can Crushers. It's just all one word. Capitals, no capitals, whatever you want to do. It's just Can Crushers is our word there. It'll save 10%. They do have a starter pack. If you want to try a couple flavors, they'll throw them in. They give you a shaker as well. It's $20. The 10% can come off of that too. So you can really see before you buy the big old tubs like I have.
How big are those tubs?
I like this, like a little coffee. I don't
love the exact measurements there.
Yeah, a little coffee can. That's about it. It's enough for 30 days. It's enough. If you do it right, it's enough for 30 days.
There you go. That's what's important.
That's what's important. That's definitely what's important. I did have something else I wanted to bring up, but of course I had to make sure I got the W. Oh, I did have an email. We did get some emails in from Ask Can Crushers for Ask Can Crushers for next week, so make sure that keep sending those in. Those are awesome. But I did get an email that said, hey, you guys said that you're going to do best theme, best arrows, worst pay-per-views. When the hell are you going to get to those? So we do need to come up with a special at some point. We'll have to coordinate a time and do one of those. We're busy. We got a new video game system. We got new games. We got March Madness.
We're busy.
Baseball starts next week.
Listen, and we've had great spotlights come up over the past couple months because really these specials would fill in a spotlight episode. So we've had great spotlights. So if you're looking for something that would have came out in that place, go check out the spotlights that have been going on.
Yeah, like Lunix this past week.
Exactly. Check them. Keep tabs on it. We'll get to that stuff. We'll get there soon, but just keep it in mind. You know, specials only come out once every so often, so
they're special.
Yeah, we got to sprinkle them in when we can. So
we have nothing else going on, essentially. So a lot of AEW last week, in this week on the show, essentially, because if we're looking at it, we have 2 Rampages to cover, a Collision, and a Dynamite.
Yep.
To do. Somebody's singing upstairs in the shower, by the way. Just throwing that out there, like full on. Going crazy.
Somebody is excited for Rampage.
I don't know if she is. I think she's excited I think they're going to Mexican, I think, and then Walmart. So that's, yeah. It is what it is.
If there's ever a party on a Friday night, that's what it'd be.
Right. Woo! So let's do AEW. God, Mark. AEWs in general, because there's so much that we would just, so let's stick and say that whatever you want to go to, I want you to go first. What was your holy moly moment, essentially, of AEW this week?
See, if I go holy moly moment, I'd go right to the main event, but we won't go there. Let's talk, so the Moné aspect of it. She kicked off Dynamite, basically prevalent across all 3 shows and all that stuff, because Moné, AEW's Moné now.
Shohei the Moné.
Moné. I like that.
That's been on my mind the whole week. Trust me, that's what that's why it's named Shohei the Moné.
That's a great title. But we're getting a lot of teases, but it doesn't seem like we're getting a lot of action out of it with Moné. And it seems like, okay, now the Willow has turned on its head. They're not friends. They've established a line. Basically.
She loves Stat.
She signed with Stat. Willow looked like she was going to hit her with the chair. So now it's a whole other ball game out there. So I think my line is it Willow at the pay-per-view? We talked about this last week. We were trying to figure out what the pay-per-view match would be. Is it setting up for Willow at the pay-per-view, or do they have somebody bigger in mind still? Because to me, it looks like Willow's the sacrificial lamb at the pay-per-view.
But does Mercedes have a match first to really stir the pot?
Yeah.
That maybe it ends up like a double disqualification. Because I don't know, because last week I said she may be TBS champion.
Right.
Right off the bat.
Yeah. I think that does a disservice to Julia.
I think it does too.
I know we debated it last week, so we don't have to go back into it, but
I thought about it more. I did.
But to your point, there's got to be a Dynamite match for her debut.
We're a month away from Dynasty, essentially.
Yep.
So she can have a Dynamite match against Julia or Sky, and maybe that's where Willow comes out, accidentally punches Moné.
Mm-hmm. And the Moné maker.
Essentially giving her the win.
Right.
She's not taking a loss her first match.
She's not taking a loss.
Maybe it's thrown out. Yeah, maybe it's thrown out or it's a no contest or whatever, but yes, we're definitely getting to Willow and Mercedes for Dynasty. I thought maybe Julia was going to be sacrificial lamb, essentially. Willow's too involved.
Yeah. Agreed.
We have to get Julia and Sky out of the picture, though. Even now, even as we're recording, I still think they're in the picture. That she's always doing moves to them, too.
Right.
There's got to be maybe
a
Wednesday.
blow off. Yeah.
Something to get it's just Willow and Mercedes going.
Yeah. I mean, let's talk about the street fight that came up on Rampage.
By the way,
after Dynamite. What's that?
A disservice to those women again.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And I'm going to be a complete dick. It started with Copeland going over 10 minutes into Rampage.
Yep.
And then there's 2 matches that did not need to be on Rampage.
Yeah. Who was it? There was a Shibata squash, Takeshita squash and Ramiro, basically, because we knew what that one was going to be about.
Right.
I'd go. The only reason Best Friends and Callis family were on there was so that they could put Best Friends in a tournament.
Right.
I don't understand.
There's at least something linked to them.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Matches, once you saw that Copeland went over by 15 fucking minutes in his match.
Cut one.
Yeah.
Because the only reason they ran Takeshita is because he's facing, why am I drawing a blank now? Next week. Swerve.
Yeah.
Because it's him and Swerve next week. That's the only reason Oh, 100%. Swerve's winning that.
And you know why Shibata got the win? Because he got the loss against Danielson.
Yeah, so they had to give him one back. Exactly.
We had to give him one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get rid of one of them.
Yeah, to your point, screwed the women over. They had to go 5 minutes into their overtime on that one. So, again, the women get the kibosh on it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though, it gets further muddied because Heart and Blue won it. So now, what the fuck are we going to do?
Yeah.
Like, I get putting over Julia, but now Willow and Stat still have unfinished business with them. You got to pull Moné into this. It's just muddied the water. What will happen in 5 weeks at Dynasty? Yeah. 4 weeks in Dynasty? I don't know what the end game is here. Maybe that's a good thing, but maybe it's a bad thing at the same time. Because we think it's
a bad thing as of right now.
Yeah, because we talked about
there's nobody. You want to be behind Mercedes. Everybody, TNT, AEW wants you behind Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Moné, essentially.
Yeah.
I love her. I'm just speaking heart. She hasn't been good on the mic. What the hell is her, and I'm saying this nicely, what the hell is her problem? Like, she was all over the place on the mic. Every time she's been on the mic, she said the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, we know you're here now.
Yep.
Something needs to happen. Her actions are proving it in the ring that she still got it, but fuck. Lady Frost just popped into my head. Bring Lady Frost up. Let her take a loss against Mercedes. Get a match under her belt.
Here's the other flip side to this. I'm kind of certain they're just going to pull it and make Willow and Stat both heels instead of Stat turning on Willow at some point.
Which I'm all right with.
I'm fine too. But does it need to happen for
No.
Mercedes? No. But I think they're doing it because they think they need to do it for Mercedes instead of doing it just because.
Yeah, so she has to get her away from Julie and Sky, and then she has Willow at Dynasty and then Stat at a whatever next Spring Fling or whatever they have randomly on a Dynamite, one of their pay-per-view style TV shows.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or is there somebody at Dynasty that comes out? Because CEO and DMD have the same finger going right now.
And DMD, I think, just came out and said something about CEO at some point this week.
Well,
yeah. Well, exactly. So, it's got to happen. That's the Double or Nothing match.
Yeah. I completely agree. And there's a lot of cool build-up that can happen to that.
Yep.
Mine that I got to bring up, and I'm probably okay with it. Okada winning title first match.
Yeah.
Listen, Mercedes is there. We have a lot of big people. Okada is your money right now. Him and Ospreay are your money in AEW.
Yep.
We know Eddie's on the downward. We said it last week. This was the first one to fall. I would imagine the other ones are going to fall quick as well, titles. Are we setting up long term? I know we said Okada, maybe Danielson. Are we getting Okada Ospreay actually at all in, all out, upside down, whatever for this? Because that I think would be bigger over in England.
It could be. And it's a way to keep the world title out of that whole circus of these guys are going back and forth between England and Japan, their respective home countries, every week and then coming back over. I think you're right. I think the Continental Classic Championship, mouthful, is basically something so that, hey, if they decide to stay a week in England, go do a Rev Pro show. Or if I've got to stay in a week in fucking Japan, go do a New Japan show and defend the title or something. To your point, that could be the main event of All In London because it makes the most sense. Two international stars fighting for a title that they're putting over with a tournament. And honestly, I'm glad he clarified the tournament rules and how that's all being defended going forward.
Right.
That was nice. So now it kind of guarantees it's going to be, this is the number 2, the big 2 belt going forward.
Which is good.
It's 100% good. But can I ask this question? I know you have one brewing, but let me ask you this. Does this create a unholy dynamic, lack of better terms, with your world title? Does this create a conflict between what is your most prestigious belt and what is the actual world title for AEW versus your Continental Classic Championship?
I said it, I believe, last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever, that you look at these indie promotions, and I'll use IWC, and I'll use New Era. They have all these, like the Super Indie Championship that has been defended for IWC across the world. The IWC Heavyweight Championship has been defended Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, Right. The Super Indie title is an international title. There's other ones in other little feds as well. So in the scheme of the world, a lot of people might not know the Super Indie, but it does mean more to have that, if you want to call it secondary. But what would you rather have? One that's been defended in Japan or one that's been defended in your backyard? And I'm not saying backyard wrestling or anything like that, but I want an international title. yeah, you can say that the AEW Heavyweight Championship has been defended internationally as well. It's not going to get the pomp and circumstances as this one does. This is going to be the big one. Your big guys, a la Wardlow, a la are going to be, in time, I think, completely around the heavyweight title. And the others, your international stars, so throw it out there again, your moneymakers are going to have this title.
Doesn't that, though...
Oh, it taints it.
It taints your world title so much. It also basically disenfranchises it and says, it's not worth it. And then if that's the case, does Swerve winning in a dynasty even solve a story? Does it do anything for anybody? I don't think it does. If this is going to become, and listen, I love the Continental Classic. I love the theme of it. I love everything with it. But if it's taking away from your company's big title because you're putting these stars of an international fame on it and ripping it, I think that does more damage than good to your brand. Would it not?
Yes, it can. It most certainly can.
Yeah.
Adam Cole came to IWC one time. Never challenged for the heavyweight champion. This is when he left ROH before he was going to NXT.
Yeah.
Never challenged for the heavyweight championship. He was a super indie champion, though.
Yeah.
It's just notable. There's a lineage there. There's a lineage to all titles. Yes, I understand.
Right.
But
right.
When CM Punk holds it, to Adam Cole holds it, to AJ Styles holding it, to where Bob Smith, Roger Smith, and Harry Smith, your locals, and I'll probably get hate for people saying, but some of the locals make it big. They do. Yes. Wardlow is one of them. I completely agree.
Right.
But when you get to promote that, hey, Adam Cole was our super indie champion, what the hell is this? Well, they're going to dig into it and stuff. But I completely agree with what you're saying. My question is, Continental Classic, right? That's the title that we're going to be going with. What has that title just done to the international, the Orange Cassidy title?
Right.
It's the same title, right? In aspect.
Theory.
In theory. Yeah. It's the same title, correct?
Yeah.
It was built for going places and this, that, and the other thing. So why did we create one that you already had one?
Yeah. Is it, well, that's the $1 million question. Is it, we only named it international for one guy, and now that guy's done going
after
the Continental round? Yeah. So is it going to undergo another name change? And it's going to become the true TV title at that point? Or is it going to become, you know what I mean? It almost feels like it disenfranchises it, which Roddy getting this title now also says, well, fuck you, Roddy. You're not worth a damn.
Yeah.
Because we can't invest in you. Which then trickles down to the group you're a part of because they're saying, well, fuck your group at this point.
Yeah. Speaking of the group, this is probably, and it's probably because Adam's not there. I'll put it this way. This is the worst era group that I don't care what they're doing. I don't care what anyone are doing.
Agreed. I don't think Adam can't drive it because he's not there. But I also think because they don't have that enemy right now. And that number one guy they were shooting after, if he's truly gone, they have no reason to be together whatsoever.
No. You're making
a reason
to be a guard now?
Yeah, Wardlow now has to defend Roddy and keep his title safe. It begs the question, was the contract up in the air until after Revolution. And then he made a choice.
Pulling strings, hoping to get, man, don't go the night after WrestleMania. Don't go WrestleMania night.
Exactly. Trying everything under his power to keep it so convoluted or keep him out of it that when it happened, it was like, well, shit.
Yeah. We're speaking of MJF, by the way, if anybody has gotten on. Yeah, I don't... Does AEW and the WWE's universe, people are going to come in full gear probably. Do they have a problem a little bit? And I don't know if it's a good or bad problem because of all of this. There's some great stories out there, but there's a lot of stories that are just not finished, just dropped. Where are they going? Oh, we don't have any place to go. I don't know. Sometimes I watch AEW for the action and everything. It's great. But then there's times I'm like, man, I do love the Copeland, or as Taz calls him, Edge, Cage storyline. I love that. I love what Swerve and Joe are doing. I do love things. Kingdom's supposed to be one of your toughest things right now. That's why I'm going to keep shitting on them. I don't care.
They don't have a leader and they don't have a purpose.
Yeah.
If you don't have a purpose, you're dead in the water. But if you don't have a leader as well, you're screwed at that point. I thought the goal was Adam Cole would be there weekly, at least somehow, some way.
Yeah.
If he's not going to be there weekly, it's not worth a damn.
Not there.
It's not worth a damn anyways because they don't have the common enemy anymore.
No.
Wardlow was visibly only a part of this group to get back at MJF.
Right. To possibly win the title, hand it to Cole, a la Andre the DiBiase.
Yeah.
To create something.
But now he can't even create that because there's nothing tangible there.
No. At all. Adam's first match against Wardlow as soon as he comes back to get Wardlow by himself, essentially. You muted yourself. Okay, you're good. I wonder if you just back.
I think I hit the cable and it screwed it up. But I didn't do anything during that self-imposed mute. It was just, I don't know. You're absolutely right. I just don't know what their game plan is here with this. But I'm going to bring it back to your original point with Okada in that. I love it. I love Okada. I love Okada being scared by his own pyro victory. That was really that popped me. But I loved that aspect of it. Okada's the champion. Eddie's downfall is starting, but it's okay. We're off and running now. Continental Classic title. It's reaffirmed. It's established. It's going to be the hot title this year. Which is a good thing because I think we see a lot of times new titles. We just shit on the whole concept of this could be catastrophic to the world title based on the players involved.
What's it going to do to this title?
This is one of the first times I've seen a new title introduced where it's actually shooting its stock sky high because it's providing it a whole other type of entertainment for it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Besides Okada right now, who else would bring, well, there's one other that would bring the money to this title.
Yeah. It's checks writing itself at this point.
Yeah.
For it. And I love that we're defining divisions around it. So, and in that terms, this title can also be I'm by myself, so we're just having straight up AEW style matches, but there's no interference. It's just you, me, and the referee.
Title, yeah.
And the title at that point. I like that delineation here. Okay, great. And then you have the international title, which is your workers title right now. It should be your workman's title, although we haven't seen Roddy and I don't know. Yeah. But then you have the world title, which has its own separate storylines and division and is more storyline driven. there's a lot of separation of state, basically. Everybody is staying their own lane with what the titles do, and I like that a lot.
I do. I really do. So we sound like we're shitting on it a little bit. We're just questioning some things.
We're questioning the thing and what it could do to that world title, because that's going to be the key here. We thought they brought in Okada, Ospreay to elevate the world title.
Yep.
Looks like they're elevating the Continental Crown.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. Danielson and Shibata was a banger, by the way. If you haven't
100%.
watched it.
I mean, there's nothing to say about it. It's
no
2 workhorses going at it. God, Danielson's just having the best last year of his career right now.
He really is. Collision wasn't great. Besides that, I did like seeing Kyle in the ring working with Brian Keith. I think those two work great together, by the way. I love Brian Keith. He just doesn't get enough. You're like, goddamn, give the guy a win. Get him doing something.
I don't like him being a enhancement talent,
right?
If you will. All right, you signed the contract. Give him some wins. Get him in the international title picture. Get him into a secondary title picture.
TNT now. Well, we'll get
TNT. We'll get there when we get there. Yeah.
House of Black against Infantry. By the way, I do want to talk about this. I am happy that the House of Black are not in this tag tournament / whatever the hell is going on, wild card.
Yeah.
The next match, they would have faced FTR. They have some stuff going on with them. I think we're going to get that revisited, but I don't want it tournament style.
No. Not in the tournament, because then it would be a cheap win, essentially. Somebody cheaply wins, House of Black cheaply wins, and then FTR's out. That's just not going to be good for business at that point. So I love the surprise point of it all, and that, hey, cool, Infantry's doing a la what Private Party did to the Young Bucks way back when, which, of course, we're getting that revisited next week on Dynamite for we know why. But I like the Infantry running in and just getting a stolen win. But does this put Briscoe's title opportunity in jeopardy in 2 weeks on ROH Supercard of Honor?
Oh, without a doubt.
Because now House of Black will show up.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole Briscoe thing is not over. And I think it's probably the right place for Briscoe right now to be battling somebody like this. We'll see.
I would love it. Maybe I'll get hate, maybe I won't. Briscoe wins the title from Eddie. House of Black shows up. Malachi challenges Briscoe down the line for the ROH title. Puts House of Black in Ring of Honor. That might not be a bad idea.
I don't think it would be a bad idea at all. I really don't, because I think ROH is doing great things. And I really love the women's TV championships going on right now. I love that. But I think I would love it more because I think House of Black needs refreshed a little bit.
Yeah. They need a little more time. Would be the best place to do that on.
Yeah.
I would, since we're shouting out ROH real quick.
Yeah.
Dalton Castle, single time use boys has got to be the funniest thing I've ever seen in TV right now this week.
Yeah.
Get it. I can't wait for the blow off match. Johnny TV they'll fight, get the boys back, whatever. I die. I was laughing so hard during that segment. I'm a Dalton Castle fan. You guys know this, but that was fucking great. The man can work. All right.
Always. Hook and Jericho didn't need to happen. Man, this was bad.
Yeah.
On both ends. I'm not saying Jericho, and I'll say it, botched what he did. Or I'm not saying it was just all Hook that botched what he did. And sorry, we don't usually say that because it's not.
Yeah.
We understand. This was just not a good match.
No. Because Hook needs that athletic guy to kind of work him. He's still green, so he still needs that kind of athletic, more selling guy to kind of get him over the hump and really reaffirm him. or at least an experienced guy that can keep up, like Joe, could make it work. Jericho man is not
steam rapidly.
Quickly. Yeah. Like, he lost it big time.
Yeah.
And I think
maybe it's an every 6 months match or something.
He's got to go part-time.
Yeah. That's where I was going with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
He really does. He's just not there.
It happens. It does happen. It's getting sad. If you don't recognize it, it's going to get sad. Take your pride out of it.
I have to talk about the Will and Tony interview. I'm going to start wearing my socks over my joggers from now on. That's how much I love Will Ospreay. I have to go back to the 80s styles tube socks and start wearing them like that.
Good call, bro.
He's happy he's in Canada. He's sorry he was cheeky the last time. He just wants to be able to. I don't care that Dynasty is 5 weeks away, because what Danielson and Will are going to do, I don't even want them to have a contract signing. I don't want them to be at the same show at the same time, because they both just let them talk to each other through promos and everything. I don't want to see any blow off between them until we get to the match.
Agreed.
Not at all.
I love that they're also basically separated them. Danielson's chirping on Collision, he's chirping on Dynamite. And that's just how we're going to leave it right now.
Yeah.
I love that. I agree with you. No contract signing, no face-to-face, nothing. One chirps on one brand, the other chirps on the other brand, and then we'll bring it all around.
I do feel bad for Shibata, though. I think this is going to be, and it's not good for Shibata, but I think you're going to see him take an ass whooping on Wednesday.
Yeah.
To have that elevated whole thing above how Danielson is, how Ospreay is elevated above Danielson.
Yeah. Because he needs to one-up Danielson at this point.
Yeah. I knew where he was going right off the bat, by the way, he had small feet, too. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
All right. Last thing I want to bring up before we get to the main event, because this was essentially the main event of the week for Dynamite. I don't know if Tony and Mariah and Deonna and Thunder did anything. Like, is Thunder now in the picture for the title?
I think it just muddied the water for who's in the title hunt now. Are they just going to push a three-way?
I don't. Because you saw when Deonna said, "You cost me my title," and then Rosa, the title I never lost.
Yeah.
It's still the same person that she lost it to, air quotes.
Yeah.
Back a couple people, but still.
Yeah, but theoretically, yeah, it is. Deonna doesn't just jump back to the top of the line because she was the lone contender. I think it, to your point, it just muddies is there going to be a Deonna Thunder match in the coming weeks, or are they just settling on a triple threat and saying, okay, that's fine? Because now the question gets raised, do they trust Thunder
right
in a match for the world title? Or are they not trusting her that much?
Does one win the title and the other turn on the other one to get that match? Or does Mariah do something? Because, listen, we're hearing Mariah undefeated in singles matches. Mariah, she won a Tony Award with an I, by the way. I thought maybe that's where we were going. I don't know.
And to your point, the men's rankings are important. We got Callis walking out with Takeshita saying oh, Takeshi's won just as many matches as you have, and he hasn't lost outside of the family versus you who has a one loss to Swerve. If that's the case for the men, it has to be the case for the women. And if Mariah's got more wins than Thunder and Deanna, that's the change.
Yeah. Do you have anything else before we get to the main event?
Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to think.
Swerve beat the shit out of the Butcher too, but that.
Yeah, but I mean that was what it was. Marvez, I got to hear your Japan, bud. Japanese. Right. You got to pay better respect to Okada here. I just wanted to call that out because that has been increasingly the best part of one of the better segments of Dynamite. But anyways, let's get to the main event.
Beating. He really is taking a beating.
He's just getting shit on left and right here by, and it's perfect. All right, we're here.
I hated it.
Really?
I did. Because everything was too drawn out.
Okay.
Everything. I did like, well, here's my notes. Taz called him Edge, of course. They go into the crowd. The hockey jersey spot, I chuckled. It was fun. Yeah. It was in the penalty box. Once Mama Wayne came out, the match was like another half an hour long.
Yeah, agreed.
The handcuffs. And I understand. Fuck, you're working with handcuffs and people are big. And I don't think Luchasaurus is whatever. He's always going to be Luchasaurus. I'm done calling him Kill Switch, by the way, too. I don't think he was even in handcuffs. They couldn't get him on him. The camera work was right there. I'm like, oh, shit, just hold him. Too much of that. Too much, like... And it's because the I Quit match of Magnum and Tully. Yes, it was in a cage, yada, yada, yada. This was too big of a match to have that much involvement of everybody else, and it muddied it. Congratulations to Cope for winning it. Cool. Maybe, I'm going to say this nicely, Cage has been carrying the division.
Yeah.
This is time for him to go take a nap for a little bit. Cool. Come back, whatever. Cope will do whatever he does for a while, do a couple Cope opens, and then somebody's going to surprise him. I don't think he keeps his title long. Yeah. I don't think that's why he's there. But this was, to me, supposed to be Adam against Jay. Christian against Edge. The big, this is a story. I wanted it to be something we talk about in December in the Crushies.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't even make it on the spectacle part of it because it was just muddy, and clearly muddy is the word today. It was just muddy, and there's so many people involved, and holy shit. But when they came out with handcuffs, I'm like, all right, this is the way it's going to end. And it was just okay. And did you know Spike was a girl, by the way?
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
It was too much. They could have cut 20 minutes out of everybody else come out and just get a definite I quit from both of them, either one, and I would have liked the match.
Yeah.
You can overdo stuff.
No, that's fair. And it was really a tale of two matches, to your point.
Yes.
Until Mothering came up, it was a pretty solid match. It was a pretty good I Quit match. It had a fun spot and penalty box you brought up. Everything was clicking. I now see your point. You're right. It did slow down tremendously when they came out. And what it should have been, okay, if you're going to do it, do it. There should have been 2 minutes versus 10.
But it was a long 10.
It was a long 10 because we have to set up every single fucking thing in the world to get us where we need to go. And even then, it didn't really have any sort of payoff whatsoever with it. All it was, okay, we've handcuffed these two guys. We've force-fed you Daddy Magic and Garcia into this.
which I did love that.
Yeah, it was good. It was good they had it, but it was also like, okay, Mother Wayne should be getting her comeuppance from somebody as well, but nobody came out for that. So it was like, okay, it was convoluted, pushed where it didn't need to push, and then, yeah, to your point, it just was long in the tooth. It was just too long to be something coherent or something that was worthwhile for it. To your point about Cope not having it long, it's Daniel Garcia.
Oh.
That is the hand-picked guy that's going to be Cope for it, because there's no other reason he's involved in all of this.
Right. Because everybody else, not Nick. Nick is
gone.
Has had the title of some sort.
Nick's too far out. Nick's 5 years from a title, probably.
Yeah. And Daddy Magic is
nowhere close to being anywhere near a title anymore.
Right. He's a commentator, he's a manager, he's a dad, he's a special friend.
Yeah.
Whatever. Not happening.
Yep. Exactly.
So it is Danny. So there's got to be Andretti I know this has already happened, but I'm saying Andretti comes out, and then Bob Smith comes out, and we're getting people talking to Danny in the back saying, man, you could try this Cope Open next week. No, he's my buddy, da-da-da-da-da. We get to this. I don't even think it's a dynasty. I don't even think it's
I think it is. I do think it's dynasty. Yeah, okay. I think it's that quick, because I think you're onto something. Cope doesn't need this title. Cope never wanted this title. I think they had to have the blow off, and the title was just on Christian, so they had to get the title off Christian.
Well, they had it off of him fucking twice.
They did, and then they gave it right back to him both times. Right. So I think right now it's dynasty. Cope's like, I'll give it to Danny, get it off me, go do his own thing. And Copeland's going after people, and not for titles, but for bigger names. So like, maybe Mox isn't doing anything, so he's probably going to go after Mox at one point. He's going to go after Darby when he gets healed up, probably again. He's going to just have fun with this run, but he doesn't need a title to do that, so he's taken off of him. Somebody got off of Christian, great. Now let's re-enter it back into the workhorse force and go for it.
By the way, Darby just announced for Steel City Con the weekend after WrestleMania, since he's not going to be over at Everest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, him and Sting. Sting, Cage, and somebody else are all going to be there. Again,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it would be if you're going to Monroeville, Pennsylvania to see Steel City Con. I think Booker T was the other one. Now that this popped in my head.
Oh.
So there's
four. Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe. Yeah, I get it. I get everything they were trying to do. I really do. But it was just, and again, I'm being salty because, listen, you had 3 fucking hours.
Yeah.
Essentially on Wednesday night. And I know that was your Dynamite main event. When it runs 15 minutes into Rampage. Come on.
Make some cuts, make some thoughts, yeah. Like, here's the other thing to that, though.
It went to break twice.
It did go to break twice. Here's my thing for that, though. I'm fine if it runs into Rampage 15 minutes. Adjust your clocks accordingly. Your main event of Rampage was the women's street fight. Mm-hmm. One match separates
10
them.
10 minutes for a street fight.
Yeah. No. One match separates them. Best friends and whoever the fuck they face. I can't remember right off the top of my head. But then have that done. Great. That's the separator. That cleans your palate. Now we got the women. Let's go.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Takeshita didn't need a win. Shibata didn't need a win. Nobody needed wins in the middle of there. To our point that we bring this whole thing back full circle. Yeah. It was long in the tooth. It killed what momentum was going into it with the women. Be smart about it.
However, as much as I just shit on it, I love whatever AEW is trying to do, I'm still always involved.
Right.
I wonder more with AEW. There's always our thoughts go more with AEW because we don't know what's in Tony's brain.
Yeah.
Which makes it so much fun.
That's 100% true. Because it's going every which way, and that can be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So.
That's all I got for AEW.
That's all I got.
Ready
for big break?
Look at the scores.
Look at the scores. I just took one. I just switched to a different game, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, but Duke came on, just to throw that out there.
I'm going Alabama, Charleston.
Ooh. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. WWE and segment 3.
Woo.
Hey, this is Bass Jesus Billy Starks, and you're listening to the Out of the World podcast of Can Crushers.
Ooh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to resurrect things for WWE. Like,
copying us once again, and now resurrecting an award ceremony that was long forgotten and has now come back as a Fan Choice Awards. Guys, the Slammies are back. I'm excited that it's a fan choice. Yeah. I really am. And listen, I know there's ways to work around it. You can give the Slammy whoever you want to, throw up numbers on the board. Fans are like, oh my God, that's actually who I voted for, but I wonder who the other 1 million people are that voted. I get that. You can make whoever, again, let me pull the curtain down. It's wrestling, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you know, you know. You can make whoever win that you want to. So whatever. At least the interaction part, it means like we really mean like we know what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Like we're getting a say. We're not getting a say. They know who's going to. I don't even know the categories. Jenks is going to read them to me here in a minute.
Yeah.
But I like that they're bringing them back. The very first ever Slammy Awards that they put on TV, Bobby Heenan crawling around getting shit on by Harley Race and Duggan fighting all over the place. It was comical. It was fun. I love it. So I'm all right with the Slammies.
I am too. I had no problem with it. I like that they're doing WrestleMania weekend. I think that's a nice little touch. Yeah. Let's add one more element to it. Let's have some fun with it. So I don't know when the show actually is. All it says is there will be Big E and Kathy Kelly are hosting the Slammies, the Fan Choice Awards, at some point WrestleMania weekend. There will be appearances by WWE superstars, but it's live in Philadelphia.
I thought I read that it's going to be on like Peacock or YouTube or like it's not going to be on USA or anything. It's going to be on one of their networks essentially. WrestleMania weekend, switch beers by the way, is packed. You have, as you always do, you have SmackDown on Friday night. Then you have Stand and Deliver?
So Stand and Deliver, yep.
At noon on Saturday, rolling right into WrestleMania. Sunday WrestleMania. Are they going to do this maybe noon, 3 o'clock or something for Sunday?
I would like some sort of show on Sunday just to kind of say, hey guys, in between breaks, let's think about this now. That type of thing. That's actually a good point. That might be exactly when they do it. And just do it from inside Philadelphia, from inside the link.
Yeah.
Here's the Slammy Awards.
So you essentially get 12 hours of content on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Which everybody wanted, right? That's what they all wanted. Yeah.
The first time they ever did, I don't remember which one it was. Because SmackDown versus Raw came out essentially that same week. And I had a buddy down and we watched all the entrances, yada, yada, yada. Was it 10? Was it 20? I'm not sure. But it just started like at noon. And you relived every WrestleMania moment that's ever before the WrestleMania. That's a lot. It really is a lot. Now, don't get me wrong. I probably will not, and I'll throw this out there right now, probably won't watch Stand and Deliver until later in the week. Yeah. Just because. No shame on them or anything. I can't pull 12 hours of wrestling anymore.
I mean, I did it I led back-to-back WrestleMania nights last year because when we went to watch it Saturday night, power was out, so I was like, okay, I'm just trucking. I'll tell you what, by the time you get about halfway through night 2, you're like, holy God, it was rough.
But that's live then watching it.
That was live watching night 2. You can't stop it and say, okay, I'm going to come back. But it was hyped,
But
and
you
then
don't
it
want
was like
spoilers in the morning or anything.
exactly. So you're like, I just got to bust through it, and then by the time Cody lost to Roman, I was pissed now because at this point. I fucking did I grinded a showcase mode for us to get to the story to be told, and he loses?
Motherfuckers!
Come on, fuckers. Let's go pull this shit together. So, it's a lot.
Before we talk about WWE, let's make our... Are you going to actually get on and vote then?
I'll probably vote at some point. So,
we'll write them down. I'll write them down in the yearly notebook, so when they do come out, we can revisit them. Go ahead, sir. This is your episode.
All right, so we'll try to do this. They do have contenders for each category, so you have somebody to vote for. So we'll start breakout star of the year: Jey Uso, Tiffany Stratton, Pretty Deadly, Dragon Lee, or L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Well,
I think we know. Who are you going with?
Tiffy.
Yeah, I was going to.
The other ones have all
been around. I mean, I'm going Tiffy too. Pretty Deadly, I could only see as the other breakout star, but they haven't really done much to be a breakout star.
Right.
And then Jay has just been around. He's just been a tag team for 10 years. That's 14, 15 years. So,
yeah,
he's been here.
To me, that means coming up from, and I'm not saying this mean, but coming out from like the minor leagues, you have that prospect.
Exactly. Really, I'll give Dragon Lee the
increase. I'll just throw that out there.
LA Knight's been around for ages. He just hasn't been in WWE. For me, the only three breakout star candidates in this were Tiffy, Pretty Deadly, Dragon Lee, who has been experienced and done things, but he's newer to America, so I'll give him that.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so we'll both have Tiffy.
Yeah. Social star of the year: Grayson Waller, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Chelsea Green, Liv Morgan. I'm going. This is my. Drew's just been hater of the year, so I'm going Drew McIntyre. Drew has become my social star.
You know where I'm going. She's fucking tattooed.
I knew who you were. As soon as I said it, you were like, well, that's the end of that.
Yeah, I didn't care who else was. Just because I'm voting for her. She got at least one vote.
Yeah. And she's going to say it's rigged, too.
I'm sure she will. That's perfect.
All right. OMG moment of the year. So, guys, you're getting pretty much a mini crushies here on a random Friday. Random March day, but
we just don't get to pick.
Yeah, we just don't get to pick. There you go. OMG moment of the year: Ray punches Dominic on SmackDown last March, obviously leading up to their main event match. CM Punk returns to the WWE. Io Sky cashes in. The Rock slaps Cody Rhodes at the press conference. Damage Control turns on Bayley. And Cody slaps The Rock right back.
To me, it still has to be Punk. This is how you get Punk to WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah. I agree. I think he's going to end up being the host of WrestleMania, to be honest. Because why is he showing up to the 2 Mondays before fucking Mania, right?
Right.
So, I agree. It has to be Punk here. I mean, The Rock slapping Cody, pretty strong contender for number 2.
Yeah.
3, Cody was going to slap The Rock in return. So, for me, those are the two. Those are the two right there.
And eye for an eye to cross off
eye for an eye. Exactly. So those two cancel out. It's really just Punk's return. That's going to be your big one. All right. Match of the year. Wait, actually, hold on here. Do I go here? Let me jump around because I don't like going match of the year right there. Okay. Rivalry of the year. Let's start here. Seth versus Drew. Dom versus Ray. Bianca versus Damage Control. Roman versus Cody. R-Truth versus Judgment Day. Hart wants to say R-Truth. I'm going to pick Roman versus Cody, but Hart wants to say R-Truth.
Agreed. Real talk, how can Roman and Cody not be it if it's your main event, WrestleMania.
Exactly.
And then your main event of the following WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Seth and Drew is great. Mm-hmm. We definitely want R-Truth to get it flowers all the time.
Yeah. Dom and Ray.
Dom.
They're a strong contender for 4, I would say, because the match itself, you know what, it was a good, fun match.
Yeah.
We got one of the best entrances WWE's ever had with Dom coming out in a paddy wagon. So, right. I mean, that just wins it all. So, yeah. It's got to be Roman Cody.
It's got to be.
Okay. Let's go Return of the Year. I already know everybody's guess on this one, but, you know.
Is it the same thing as the OMG Moment of the Year?
It has to be, because here's the candidates. Naomi, Randy Orton, Nia Jax, Rock, Punk. It's got to be Punk.
They put Brock in it.
Rock. The Rock.
Rock.
Yeah, The Rock. Brahma Bull. Great one. No, they did not put Brock in it.
I guess it's one of 2, right? And I'm not being a dick to Randy. The night he returned, he was overshadowed by Punks.
Yeah.
So it's either Rock or Punk.
All right.
But The Rock has always lingered around.
Yeah.
Punk left for 25 and a half years, if you ask him, because the timeline keeps extending. But they're not going to are they going to give 2 awards to Punk?
I think they do.
Okay.
I think they will.
So we both have Punk?
We both have Punk.
Okay.
Best entrance, just generic in terms. Cody, Roman, Bianca, Seth, Rhea, Becky, Rock. Wait a minute. The last one? Dominic Mysterio, WrestleMania 39. If that is its own separate entrance. Yes. Mine's Dom.
Mine's Dom. What it really will probably be is...
I would say Cody.
Yeah. I'm voting for Dom.
I'm voting for Dom. I'd vote for Dom 100% of the time.
Yep.
Faction of the Year. Judgment Day. Alpha Academy.
Oof.
Imperium. Bloodline. Damage Control.
Now we're looking at last year. So Damage Control, tag titles, heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Do they get their comeuppance? I would hope, because as of right now, we don't have a lot of women on this list.
No.
They have to do due diligence. I know you have Judgment Day of Rhea running a whole year with a title essentially, and tag team titles twice. Bloodline, are they? Listen, when we call a spade, they're probably the faction of the year. They run gamut. They are the storyline, but they're falling apart. Like Solo is not a monster anymore.
No, and they haven't been. I'm going to be honest. They haven't been anywhere close to faction of the year for me since SummerSlam.
Right. In Alpha Academy,
they're fun.
I don't know. Like I want to put Damage.
Yeah.
Because up until recently, they did what they were going to do, but I guess I have to say Judgment Day, huh?
Same. Bloodline to me fell apart before Money in the Bank, actually. I should correct my statement before. So that's been out of the water. I mean, yeah, it's still Jimmy and Solo, but to your point, Solo's fallen off. Jimmy's not doing anything but laughing.
Right.
Damage Control, Imperium is solely Gunther.
Right.
Alpha Academy's Chad Gable, and it's only had a resurgent.
Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be Judgment Day. They've been most dominant.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, right. We'll come out for that then.
Yeah, there you go. Take the award. All right. Real quick, we got a couple more. let's do the match of the year, and then we'll do NXT Superstar, Women's Superstar, and Man of the Year. Match of the year. It's been so long, I forgot this was last year. Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest in the San Juan Street fight. I forgot that was last year. It was a great match. The other contenders, though. Roman versus Sammy, Elimination Chamber. Gunther versus Chad, Raw.
Oh, we gushed over that.
We did Asuka versus Bianca versus Charlotte. Yeah. Charlotte versus Rhea. WrestleMania 39.
I think
so. It's got to be that. I mean,
yeah, that's where I'm going.
I'm going Charlotte versus Rhea. Bad Bunny and Damian was a great spectacle match,
but
Sammy and Roman had a lot to it. But Charlotte and Rhea was the most complete wrestling match on that list. There's the hate. It was the most complete wrestling match on this list. But
it was, yeah, but it was also the changing of the guard. It was also the passing of so much more to Rhea.
Yep.
Chad Gunther was fucking amazing. Don't get it wrong. Come down to it, I don't know if it didn't end up in anything.
It didn't do anything. Nothing's paid off.
Right.
It doesn't seem like anything's paying off. So, all right. NXT Superstar of the Year, I just lost. Where are they at? There we go. Dragunov, Carmelo, Valkyria, Tiff, and Braun Breaker is your choices.
Tiff had a great year.
Mm-hmm.
If Tiff had a great year, Valkyria had a great year by beating Tiff. Dragunov, though. But I think I go Carmelo.
Same. I thought you were going to go Dragunov.
Well, I was, but I just think when I still think of NXT, and I know he's dabbled up and down. He's been lost in the shuffle on the main roster essentially for a little bit now, if he's even been around, which he hasn't.
Right.
When I think of NXT over the last year, I think of Carmelo more than anybody else.
Agreed. Melo has driven it. Trick's taking it over this year from Melo.
Yeah.
Standard delivers the passing of the guard in that regard.
Yep.
Dragunov is great, and it's fantastic, and is running that show. Dragunov's also going to be leaving NXT sooner rather than later when he drops it to Trick.
Right.
So it's passing of the guard, but Dragunov's just overshadowed right now.
He is. He really is.
All right.
And I don't know, man. I'm going to throw hate. I don't know if Tiffy, yeah. I don't know if Taya should be on that yet. Let's throw it out there. She does great things. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying. Like I don't know.
Lyra, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, male and female. Let's knock it out. So
do male first.
Yeah, I was going to do male first. So it's Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Seth freaking Rollins, Gunther, Logan Paul.
I'm ruining this right now. Logan Paul's going to win this.
Yeah.
He's going to have his millions of people voting for him.
Yep.
Who I would give it to, and I will hit the vote, and everybody's going to be shocked. I can hate his theme song, but it's been Seth Rollins.
He has carried Raw.
Yep.
I'm gonna give it to Gunther. As much as Seth Rollins has carried Raw, Gunther has put out consistently the best matches with some of the most random ass opponents that they've thrown their way and have elevated their stock tenfold every time.
Agreed.
So I got to give it to
Gunther
Gunther
leaves
on that.
WrestleMania as a winner losing, though.
Yes, 100%.
Seth loses needing to rebuild himself.
Yep. He's got to burn it down to rebuild himself.
Right. That's why I'm going to give him his flowers. Because once he leaves, you know what I mean by there is Tyler Black.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Mm-hmm. But they're going to give him something WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Also, imagine that. Thrown into the mix of the Continental Classic title.
Yeah.
Or they put him in the world title picture. I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's a hell of a trade. MJF for Tyler Black.
And Rebecca Quinn.
Yeah. Yeah.
My thoughts have changed on WrestleMania. Predictions 2 weeks away. Go ahead.
All right. To finish out the Slammy Award nominees, and that female superstar of the year, Rhea, Bianca, Bayley, Io, and surprisingly enough, Becky Lynch. Not surprising at all. That was sarcasm.
Right. It's between two for me.
Okay, who we got?
Becky and Bayley.
Okay.
You've heard the hate earlier in the year about Rhea. It's not that I hate her. She went 6 months without doing anything besides managing Judgment Day.
Right.
Bayley's been doing the damage control stuff, has been doing cool things. Becky down to NXT, up to NXT, this, that, and the other. I honestly, I think this is Becky's without a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you're going to throw out, hey, who's going to be a strong number two? I don't care if she had the title for a year or a year plus. I think Bayley's done more than Rhea. Rhea might be a 3.
That's a valid point.
Mine is back, so.
Mine running away with it is Becky Lynch not because of what she's done in Raw and all that. She's literally gone to NXT, elevated a group of women there, gone on Raw, made Nia Jax look like $1 million, knowing past history, knowing she could be injured. She's elevated her up so much. Becky can be picked up and dropped in any scenario, and that elevates your women's division. So to me, that's your female superstar of the year / decade, whether you want to have that conversation or not. She was the generational talent that come out of the Four Horsewomen. She is legitimately your generation talent. Not Charlotte, not
had the name.
Mercedes Sasha. Yeah, Charlotte had the name. Mercedes Sasha had the moveset to make it work and had the charisma, the glitz and glamour. Bayley was your workhorse type athlete from the group. Becky has come out and been the conglomerate of all three of those women and more.
Transcended.
And transcended everything, exactly.
Little words I can throw in.
I like it. I like the transcended. I like the transcended. It was nice. It was nice touch.
Yeah. Perfect. WWE as a whole.
Yeah, let's go there.
I giggled, I laughed, I turned into a little schoolboy with the Rock concert. It was cute.
It was, but it was the same thing we've been hearing for the past 4 weeks.
We've said this. They can shut up now. Yep. I don't know what they're doing right now on SmackDown. And probably a lot of people don't. Because the NCAA tournament's on.
Nothing matters outside of the tourney time right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be the same thing. Cody's going to show up there. They're going to have a face-to-face. Try to steal some people from watching Duke in Vermont, which is only a 5-point game, by the way.
Yeah, or watch Alabama struggle against Charleston, which is a 1-point game that they were losing by 7 at one point.
Or watch Nebraska get their ass kicked by A&M. Brackets, still busting.
Yeah.
Shohei busts Moné.
Oh.
Even better.
Shohei busts and transcends Moné. Yeah, I like bust. I like the one you had.
So SmackDown wasn't a lot. And I know we said we're going to jump across, but it wasn't. What did you take, essentially, then, from WWE as a whole? Because, for me, there was one good match this week. Yeah?
Yeah, I would buy that. I think in the same match. I think the only thing I took away from WWE this week is, hey, we were proven right. It's a triple threat match for the U.S. title.
Yeah.
I mean, we got that. We knew that was right. But you're right. There was only one match that really stood out and made the grade and made everything pop. I will, though, before we get into that, because I think we're thinking of the same match.
Oh, we clearly are.
Yeah. Man, I will gush now until the end of time. I am really thankful Kevin Dunn is no longer with WWE, because some of the camera shots we've been getting these past couple weeks, I'm going to be the nerd, guys. I'm bringing this nerding into it.
Yeah.
That singular shot, just all the way back, that led up to the Sammy-Chad interaction, was probably some of the best, one of the better things I've seen on WWE TV in quite some time.
Yeah.
It told multiple stories. It brought us back full circle with Sammy and Chad, but it also hit stories along the way. And it was just innovative. It was cool.
Do you think they're keeping Chad away from Gunther? Because maybe Chad's going to get his flowers at some point from Gunther?
I think so. All right. Does that mean Sammy's losing WrestleMania weekend so that he can get his flowers from Gunther?
I think so. Not a prediction, but
yeah,
a lot.
And does it
next 2 weeks? But
here's the other thing: how long are they willing to keep it on Gunther? Because we talk Punk is in the title picture, and looks like it's going to be the case when he's back by SummerSlam. So there's no place for Gunther in this title picture. Does he keep the title until Berlin, and Chad does it in Berlin? Because that's in Austria's backyard.
Right. That's a long way.
That is a long way, but they've built it up for him to continue forward.
Yeah. Why does Chad give two shits about Sami Zayn?
Yeah.
Wouldn't Chad, in this storyline, want Sammy to win because Chad can easily... We love Sammy on the podcast. He knows he can take Sammy down. Why not give him some pointers? Why not say, hey, he shit on him? Mm-hmm. Or was this reverse... I was going to say osmosis. Clearly not reverse osmosis. What's the word I'm looking for now?
Reverse psychology.
Thank you. Psychology. Yeah. To get him pumped up. To beat him. And then he takes the title off down the line. I think they knew what they had in that little bit of a feud with Chad and Gunther, that it caught up. They didn't know, and it caught them off guard how much everybody was like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see Chad with Alpha at all anymore. He's not wearing suits. No. He's looking dapper.
Yep.
He's not mentioned much when Alpha's out there. Thank God, because they have dropped, by the way.
Yeah, they have.
Tremendously.
Big time. There's two possible outcomes here.
Oh, no, shit.
No.
He loses.
No. I get that. I know you're kidding. Chad beats Sammy. Maybe Sammy gets the title. We talked about maybe flips it to Chad next month. Backlash. They revisit Gunther and Chad in Berlin. Because then, again, it's hometown, home crowd. I know it's not in Austria, but it's home-ish crowd, home-ish area for Gunther. Chad's up against the wall there. Flip side of this goes back to a theory I dangled out there several months ago. Maybe Chad has joined Imperium. We're looking dapper. We're going around. We're being serious. We're putting doubt in people's minds. Maybe he's a double agent right now.
Chad helped Gunther win at WrestleMania.
Put down Sammy. And then Gunther's like, we are revamping Imperium. Vinci, bye.
Yeah.
Kaiser, bye. Or he just says, we're adding the new member, and it's Chad Gable.
I'm for that. I am all for that.
I am too. This would be the ample time to do it, the perfect time to do it. It gives Sammy the underdog story again. He got betrayed. He didn't know what was coming.
He can get his comeuppance at SummerSlam.
Slam, exactly.
I'm building everything around SummerSlam, by the way, this year.
Well, you have to. I mean, we're pushing it past Mania. You got to get to the next end of the goalpost here.
Right. Yeah.
It's there. Yeah.
I love it. Let me say this. Because now they've made it completely relevant, noticeable, anything else you want to say. Fuck, there's 2 tag teams on Raw, and there's 6 on SmackDown. In this tournament, the SmackDown teams have to wrestle 3 matches to get into the 6-pack set of it, and they're only taking 2 teams from SmackDown.
Yeah.
They took all 3 teams, essentially. Not putting Miz and R-Truth as a team, but they're in. But the other 2 teams are in.
Yeah.
From Raw.
Yeah.
Once again, they're just shitting on the tag division. And I'm like, man, there's so much over at SmackDown that they're underutilizing.
And even then, let's throw the conspiracy theory out there. They're not using all their teams. There's going to be 1 spot open, apparently, or it's looking like it. And now you got 1/2 of the Hardys floating around at Raw, showing up. His wife's talking trash, then she's out Raw. Did they make the jump back?
Is that
go ahead.
the team that wins at Mania?
If that's the team that wins at Mania, I'm going to be not a happy camper.
I am not either.
To put it lightly. Because, okay, WrestleMania 33, that was great. That was a spectacle. That was, oh my God, they came 7 years ago. They had just done a ladder match against the Bucks the night before. They came out, did this ladder match. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, great. Fantastic.
7 years.
7 years later, that run in AEW has not looked good. And it's been ugly and just not great. And we're going to walk right in and hope for the best. Yeah, you're going to get the pop. You're going to get the circumstance around it. But it's just not going to be good.
I don't think so. Where do you go with them then? It's got to be one done quick and then separation or something.
You're only here. They should only be there for nostalgia. Yeah. Hall of Fame next year, nostalgia factor in this match. That's it.
Yeah. Which one of them get hurt?
Yeah. Well, pick your poison.
Well, I know. By the way, shout out to Nick Aldis. Had a little bit of a surgery done. Get well soon, get back. A little gutsy having I don't know if it was a planned surgery or anything, but a little gutsy having a surgery 2 weeks away from WrestleMania.
Well, you know, it's why not complicate things a little bit? But no, be safe, recover.
The other thing that should have been brought up in the Hot Topics, actually, somebody tweeted at Jade, and she said she'll never wrestle again.
Oh, yeah.
What? Are we for real? Because of some of the backlash that she got at Royal Rumble, is Jade really not? We haven't had mention.
No.
She's clearly she's not going to be on WrestleMania.
Yeah, because they haven't brought her up yet.
No. We were booking Bianca and her at WrestleMania.
And Bianca's not doing anything now.
No. I mean, granted, I guess they want 7 matches a night is what they've put out there.
Yeah, but...
And rolling into last week, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's only 6 more matches. 5 more matches that they can add to the card.
Yeah, this week they have 10, so they're down to
4 more matches. Can you really, and I give me the hate because I'll say it the way I want to. Can you really build Jade Bianca in a week? Just because they both had a body slam at Rumble?
No.
Where do you put that in the card if you want to make Jade one of your impact players down the line? It gets lost in the shuffle quick.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe they just said, you're the night after WrestleMania, surprise. Why put her at Mania? Let's build her up for a year and then let her take it. Obviously, it's going to be take a title off somebody in a year. Who that person happens to be, who knows?
Get there.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. It could be Becky. Becky could hold it for a year and be sacrificial lamb at that point.
Will it be Becky?
I don't know. But to your point, they're not going to build her up, and I feel like that when she responded, it was more tongue-in-cheek, very sarcastic, I'm never wrestling again type thing.
Right.
I'm hoping. Yeah.
So before we talk about the Becky and Nia matches, we've been dingling out there. Let me throw this out there.
Okay.
Again, not a prediction or anything until 2 weeks. There's titles that aren't going to change that we've already have thought that they're going to change. Because all the titles are... we have all the titles changing. As of right now, recording, we have all titles changing. Don't we? Essentially, we have Cody. Let's just throw this out there. As in a general public, Cody's beating Roman no matter how. With 50 million people, Cody wins night 2. Seth wins and or is cashed in or just loses the match.
Mm-hmm.
And then a cash in. Whatever. Seth's not walking out of WrestleMania weekend with the title.
Yeah.
There's going to be new tag team champions. I don't care what anybody says. We've said this around Judgment Day 4 months now. It's done.
Yeah.
I think it would be a disservice if you don't give it to Bayley.
Agreed.
Like, that would be the biggest disservice.
Yep.
Roman, as much as everybody's going to fucking hate me, Roman and Cody has meat. Judgment and Bloodline and all this still has meat. Whatever. It could go on. We don't know, but it could go on. Seth's hurt. That's why. Tag title's gone. Bayley has been your work woman.
Yep. She needs the title. She deserves the title.
My point then, who's coming out and getting in interference and fucking up Becky? Because I don't think, spoiler, I don't think Becky walks out with a title. Because possibly stealing the whole Orange Cassidy thing. She's just putting her body on line week after week after week after week after week, wearing herself down. Rhea capitalizes. It's gonna be a match. I mean, a good match. I don't know. I got 2 weeks. I said spoiler, but I have 2 weeks to always change my mind. It's our podcast. We can do what we want. But I don't know. Contract, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Becky's is the one that has the biggest question mark for me right now. Rhea's hot.
Yeah.
You can let Rhea run for a while and build up.
Be fine with it. Yeah.
That's the one that I'm like, I don't think all titles are changing.
I could see that. I could also see them change every single title because they're going to call it New Day. It's a new day, new era. Everything. I think the last time all the titles changed on one card was Survivor Series 2002.
It's just questions.
If every title changes, it's hitting the reset button for what we considered for it all.
I agree.
Hint, hint. That plays into a question I have next week for Ask Can Crushers.
Okay.
What will happen? What happens?
Right. We'll get there. We're not answering it right now.
We're not going to answer it now. We may not have the answer even next week or the week after. Who knows?
No.
We're gonna attempt to answer it, but
who are you guys mad at?
Me. They did not like that comment.
You did not like that.
They want to know. They want the question. They want the question. They want it all.
They do. Becky and I was a fucking great match.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, it's Ethan sitting outside. Can he come in? I don't care. Go home. We'll do whatever we want. I lost track. It was great. Again, it was Becky doing everything. Does this end it for now? Or is it ended? Do you understand the question?
Yep. I think if Becky's not winning the title in 2 weeks, it's ended. If Becky wins the title in 2 weeks, Nia is one of the challengers that come up over the summer or something like that. I think we have our answer to well, no, yeah, right. I think we have our answer to, are we getting a resurrection of Tyler Black, Rebecca Quinn, when whoever's shoulders are pinned to the mat at WrestleMania for that match? That answers our question.
Match. Becky's
match is going to dictate that entire conversation. Because we agree, Seth's hurt, he's taking time.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah.
So it really comes down to the man and how this match goes. Because she's the only one in position right now that is believable enough to take the title off of Rhea without repercussions from anybody or anybody bitching. Or she could lose it and she's going on her merry way and doing other things.
Right. I'm leaning one way.
I'm not sure which way I'm leaning.
Somebody got to me this week. I don't know who it was. CM Punk announces there's going to be a special referee for Rhea and Becky. And it's AJ. AJ and Becky have a little bit of a tiff. That leads her
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Rebecca Quinn, Becky Lynch stays, there's your SummerSlam match. If not, double or nothing, I would imagine it's Moné against Rebecca Quinn.
Or Rebecca Quinn just walks through the door. No.
After her match with Britt. Or whatever, yeah.
I'll back that down.
We're far from there, but
But see, I'm going back to the point I made a couple of weeks ago. It's Forbidden Door. They're going to be this cheeky about it. Because that for sure will be when the contracts are up. Rebecca Quinn and Tyler Black walk right through the door. And then it's just Forbidden Doors blown wide open. People are losing their shit. Cats are falling in love with dogs and things are blowing up. And it's just a whole chaos and pandemonium type thing. They'll be that cheeky about it.
Auburn beats Yale. Crazy stuff like that.
Auburn beats Yale. My bracket is completely perfect. But it's just one of those things. Yeah. I think they would be that cheeky about it, but in a good way, because that would be perfect, because then it gives Mercedes a chance to settle in, get a title win, start rolling, start counting the days, be like, okay, great, Forbidden Door, this is awesome. She turns around and here's the ghost of her past walking right into the door like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And the flip side of that, if the main event of Forbidden Door is a mixed tag match with Mercedes, let's say it's Mercedes and Swerve versus Joe and Britt, or Adam and Britt, okay? Swerve and, let's say Joe. I'll just throw Joe in there. Joe and Mercedes get in there. Because there's history here. They're standing, okay, they've won the match. All of a sudden, Tyler Black and Rebecca Quinn come waltzing through the door. It's a Ghost of Christmas Past scenario.
Yeah.
It's over at that point.
Agreed. We don't know anything.
Yeah, we're just a couple of loons.
Yeah.
Talking basketball with wrestling sprinkled in the long run.
And baseball season starts next week, so watch the fuck out.
Oh, yeah, it does. I mean, the Soul Series has started. Everything. I've already regretted people I've taken.
We're a week away from that, but what's your prediction? Oh, this is the way we're going to end, by the way. What's your prediction for the Rays this year?
I'm saying third in the AL East. I said that last year and they won it completely out of nowhere. Somehow Kevin Cash brings the Rays up. He's a great coach.
Yes.
Great manager. I think the talent thing gets them at some point. They always have good young prospects, but I think it always bites them in the ass. And I think this year could be the same.
Above 500 at third?
Yeah, above 500 at third. Because that entire AL East is just deep.
Oh, it is.
I think majority, if not all the teams, were above 500. I think maybe the Red Sox were right at 500.
Yeah, because you guys pounded on the Central.
So exactly. Somehow we're loaded over there. But what about the Tigers? What do you think?
Second, but under 500. Because it's still a putrid division.
That's fair.
I think it's a Twins' division by like 12 games.
Yeah.
But
do you think, I'm going to ask the question. Do you think when the expansion comes to occur, because it's coming at some point, this is the last we see
of the expansion, by the way.
He does. He's like, I'm checking out of this. Do you think this is the last this is one of the last years we see of these divisions? We're starting to get into like a 4-team division or straight conferences.
I think yes. I think it's going to be very NFL. I think once the expansion happens, I'll stick and stay with the Central, the AL Central. Mm-hmm. You're going to have the White Sox, the Indians, the Tigers, and the Twins. Yeah. All within, 3 hours? It's not really 3 hours.
Yeah.
All within 3 hours. And then the South will be the Astros, the Royals, the Rangers, and Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
You may see, I don't know if you're going to see teams cross. I don't think you're going to get, Yankees and Mets in the same. You're going to keep them at least in different leagues.
Yeah.
The big ones. But what's to say Miami and Tampa aren't in the same one? Because, listen, neither one really has a rivalry, right? If you play Miami and Tampa a couple times a year, at least MLB can say, oh my God, it's a battle of Florida. And you throw the Braves, who will run away with that fucking division year in and year out.
100%.
And I don't know, somebody else. I think it's going to be fours. Yeah. Like, this is all. That's why we haven't had expansion yet.
I will say, I think somebody I saw on Twitter was scrolling through. They were all about the component of the Yankees and Mets, same division. With the Red Sox.
Crazy.
It would be absolute nuts. I would love it too. You get the Subway Series guaranteed multiple times a year. But I think it would basically say the National League and the American League no longer exist. You can name these, but they are not of the yesteryear.
They're the conferences of the NFL. If we're going to keep comparing, because they've been chasing the NFL for a while.
Agreed. I agree. But my thought is the lineage you've had up until this point in time, done.
Right off.
Yep. This expansion will be making it a truly different league, everything about it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I completely agree. And they started with, and I will continue to say this, listen, I'm not buying MLB this year. Even though I love watching people on YouTube and TikTok already playing as Taylor Swift. Fucking amazing. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I love seeing people play as the gals on MLB. Not buying it, but I lost my train of thought. That's what happens. It's different. It's going to be completely different. And maybe it's time. Wrap it back around. When I play MLB, I still play without a DH in the National League. I hate that. If you're going to have two different leagues, divide them.
Yeah. Divide them and make them something special for each.
Yep.
That's fair.
That's all I got. Are you buying baseball, by the way?
No. I don't know. It's not right away. I got too much to play right now before I can even think about getting baseball.
By the time you're done playing it, it's going to be July.
It's going to be July in NCAA, so baseball's probably next year. Bye.
Good call.
100%, be honest.
Yeah.
So.
I may dabble next year and buy an NBA just to throw that out there. But I think. Remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
You're a garbage can, not a garbage can not. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them.
Because you never know.